Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. We have a question that came into the customer service, and it's from Jerry Piper. And Jerry states, he says, Don, thank you. The other day there was a tip about the putting grip. It was, keep it the same as your driver or any other club in your bag. Well, I played today and I tried that method and it did make a difference, a big difference. And now I'm going to that every time. Thank you, Jerry. Okay, Jerry, that great thought of wisdom about improving your putting by using your playing grip is, I can't really take credit for that. That came from my brother Kenny, and I did that video a week or so ago, very shortly after his death, I guess, as a memorial to him. And I always did it on and off, but for years I kind of played with, like a lot of people say, my putting grip was more in the lifeline of the left hand, and it feels neutral or whatever else. But even though I tried to always maintain a relatively firm grip in putting, not quite as close to, but not quite as firm as I kept both hands in hitting a ball, hitting my normal shots. I did that, but I decided to go to that a couple weeks ago and try it. And naturally, I just kind of grip it at my side here, and I get it really in the fingers, right through where I hold all the shots, the grip when I grip all my clubs for hitting full golf shots, and with the heel pad up on top. And when I did that, the first thing I really noticed consistently is the fact that it firms up the grip in my fingers and my hands. But what I especially like is it firms up and really tones up the muscles in my forearm, which once I grip it, it maintains a more firm left wrist. Now, there are some people who believe that you could putt with a cupped wrist, but whatever the wrist is at, you don't change that angle. So for me, it keeps it relatively straight, and the other thing that it does for me is that I've been blessed with a lot of teachers who can really putt. And I mean, Greg McDonald, my head teacher at Bluffton at Old South, is a phenomenal putter, and Dave Seaman, our Northeast director up there in Delaware, he's a phenomenal putter. And both of them, when they've looked at me putting, they've always said I have a tendency to kind of get my hands too low, and they want my hands higher. Well, as soon as I take this and put it in the grip into my playing grip in my left hand, and then with my right hand, it automatically, because it firms up this forearm on me, and I start to get, my hands are higher, they're raised up a little bit more. I get a better tilt to my shoulders, which is going to help me have a stroke where I stroke through. I get a better release of the putter, so that the putter is going toe up a little bit, and also the concept of hitting up on a stroke, which is we like to feel like we catch the ball below the equator, and we swing up, and my triangle is maintained very well, and all the way through the whole stroke. So I think as Jerry said here, I think like I am going to keep this in my repertoire, and it's going to stay with me forever now. I'm going to putt with my playing grip all the way through. I actually keep it exactly the same. The thumbs are over, in my case, the right thumb is over to 1 o'clock or a little bit more. Left thumb is over to the other side, so that the thumbs are pointing up the forearm, just like the regular grip. And I walk in, and I'm finding that when I do that, the setup, like I said, I feel much more connected in my body. My muscles are more engaged in my hands, and especially in my forearm, all the way up to my shoulders. And I'm finding that I can make a much more consistently smooth and steady stroke. And when I put on a blue line, I see that the putter's coming straight back and straight through with a little bit of rotation of the club head, because of the fact that the arms rotate a little bit in the swing, just like your full club, where you take it back in the mid, toe up and up the tree. Naturally, on a putt, we won't go that toe up, because a putting stroke is going to be a lot smaller. But there should be a slight rotation of the head going through the ball, taking away toe up and a little bit and finishing toe up. And so I think it really works. I think you'll find that if you're having putting issues, especially consistently hitting the ball solid, and maybe hitting it forcefully enough, because that's the other second thing I liked about it. I've always hit the ball fairly solid, but I think I'm actually even more solid, dead on line at impact. But I'm also seeing with this position, especially because of these muscles activated and energized, that I seem to be hitting the putts with a little bit more authority, if you like that word, and therefore more force, because basically I've always been basically, I guess you could call it a die putter, or we might even go to the term of calling it a chicken putter, and just barely getting the ball to the hole. And I think many times it's amazing how many putts I've missed when I've really had good line. It's by missing because I didn't reach the hole. And we've all heard the story, right? Never up, never in. I guess that's a pretty good solid mantra, and that's true. And I find that I'm really getting the ball to the hole much more consistently and by it. In the case of, like Dave Pelz once said, the best speed to have making more putts would be to have it approaching the hole at a speed that takes it about 15 or 18 inches past the hole. And I'm finding that is much more becoming standard for me now, where the balls are getting to the hole on all putts, but especially 3, 4, and 5, and 6 footers, which many times I left them short, and especially on fast greens. And so the point is, I'm not trying to hit it any harder. It's just happening because my muscles are more activated and engaged, and I'm making a much more solid stroke and a solid hit and steady stroke. And I'm working on keeping my knees still, because again, if your knees move, your knees are your levelers and stabilizers, just like the swing. Your knees start moving a little bit too much, and they can start you where you'll be hitting the ball too soon or too late, depending if it allows you to turn your shoulders or hips more. So you want to keep your legs very, very quiet and keep the knees stable. And with this grip, boom, and you'll find just hitting it more solid right off the bat with good direction is going to make you more putts, because the ball will get to the hole more often. Okay, well, that's it from points from Jerry and Don here about putt with your playing grip, and I think you might see a lot of improvement in your putting, because so far we're getting a lot of comments on it, and everybody that's trying it seems to, many that's trying it are seeming to have an epiphany here about how much better that is working for them. So putt with your playing grip and see if it doesn't improve your game and your putting. That's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.